Last time on Improv Tabletop, our heroes had just brought their prisoner into the precinct for a little bit of interrogation. They took Lucky Glum and put him in the chair, and they did a good cop, also bad cop kind of routine. Third cop. I think that's what we settled on. They managed to get Lucky Glum to write down everything he knew in a notebook, but it was sabotaged at the last moment when a woman, a dame named Mavis, showed up and ruined everything. Had to send Lucky Glum to the infirmary, ink all over the notebook, and she showed up and said, "Oh, Mr. Sparrowgold, you're so hot. Can you help me with my husband's death?"
Nope.
And that's basically what happened. You told her to go into your room and your office, write down everything she knows, and when Isi showed up to try and invite her on a date, she was gone, because it turns out she was the White Witch, and she stole a file about information on the stone table cases and disappeared through the vents, leaving behind some evidence along the way. So they stopped by the forensics department and learned everything that I just said, along with some other things. She's got like these weird stone frost henchmen that she's working with. She's trying to she was revived by them. Who knows what's going on with this stone table stuff? You went to go find out, climb up a mountain, and you managed to shake some of her henchmen on the way there. And in doing so, found a trail of withered, winterized trees leading up to the top of the mountain. What are you going to find when you reach the top? Let's find out here in the world of Noirnia. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to Improv Tabletop, the Fate RPG actual play where we make up everything on the spot. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by...
Caleb Anderton, covered in cat hair.
Connor Wood, Freddy Freaker enthusiast.
Heather, super excited for the rest of this.
Me too. Oh boy. Actually, one thing that I just really quick want to mention, since the last time we recorded our first couple episodes, I know that Connor and Caleb had both mentioned that they really loved The Magician's Nephew, just like me, so I went back and listened to it, and first things first, Kenneth Branagh does the narration for the Chronicles of Narnia audiobooks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
What an absolute treat and delight that was.
So good.
He's so good.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend going back and listening to The Magician's Nephew. It's so good. I mean, not only is it a creation myth, which has a lot of great energy to it, but the way that C.S. Lewis interplays the fantastic nature of Narnia with the mundane nature of like early 20th century London is really great, and I'm a big fan of it.
Yes.
So go check that out.
I finished Maltese Falcon in between that first recording and when we, got together to do these.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't very good, guys.
I told you, vindicated.
Oh, man.
It wasn't very good.
Film bros everywhere are getting their torches and pitchforks ready.
I know, and I'd like to consider myself a film bro, but it honestly, it wasn't great.
Right? What red herring were they talking about? That's the red herring.
Well, we'll see what Evan has to say about this second mini ideation / book club that we're having here at the beginning of the final episode of the campaign. But yeah, let's get back into the action. You're in this ravine. The White Witch's minions have disappeared off into the distance, and you have a clear trail marked in front of you. What do you do?
I've got both of my compatriots one under each arm, and I'm still just booking it up this mountain for a lot of reasons now. We were going up to see if we could make contact with Aslan, but it seems like there's other stuff going up at the top of this mountain. This might actually be the mountain that the stone table is at the top of. I don't really remember, but I just went for the nearest mountain, and it's here, so that's where we're going.
That would be fortuitous and make a lot of sense.
And be narratively expedient.
That also.
And it would also be good luck.
That it would. So, as you begin crawling your way up the side of this mountain, you begin to hear the noises of drums.
Oh.
Drums in the distance. Not drums in the deep. That was last campaign. Drums in the distance.
That is imposing. Good thing I got my camera in case things get hairy.
Yes. So you crest a ridge on this mountain, and you can begin to see the light of flames flickering against the trees. And you watch this odd display happening in front of you that as the flames cast their light, adding a reddish amber hue, the leaves themselves begin to turn from green to amber themselves. This kaleidoscopic technicolor display in front of you as you watch this forest beginning to fall to winter's grip. You feel a chill running up your spine, your breath fogging in the air ahead of you as you go closer and closer to this ritual site. And as you get close enough to hear the screeches of the harpies, the brays of the other minotaurs who have not lifted themselves up to the side of Aslan, you are able to start catching some glimpses of what's going on here in this clearing, which sounds to me like a good opportunity for us to set up some situational aspects.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically you're going to describe something you see, and then we're going to codify that into an aspect that can be used by you guys or by the bad guys as long as we're in this situation. And depending on how well you roll, we are going to either maybe potentially get some free invokes for you guys or maybe for the bad guys. We'll have to see based on the fate of the dice. Let's go around the horn by character alphabetical name, let's say, starting with Drew Tape.
Oh my. Okay, so I see them in some sort of either a circle or pattern around presumably the stone table. They're burning effigies.
Ooh.
Effigies shaped, I don't know, vaguely humanoid. I don't think we're close enough to get like details on them, but them burning some effigies.
All right. I think we will call this an air of ritualism.
Cool.
Like, as you get closer, you can feel that, not only do you see these flames looking against the trees, not only do you feel the clashing of those flames against the coldness that winter is encroaching upon you, not only do you hear the braying of all of these terrible creatures, but deep within, like, the pit of your stomach, just somewhere behind your solar plexus, this buzzing, this turning that is magical in nature. It's something that you're probably a little bit unused to.
Yeah, this place is uncomfortably ominous.
So let's have you roll unmodified against a difficulty of 0.
Okay. That's a 3.
Nice.
Very nice.
Sweet.
That is success with style.
Cool.
You guys get 2 free invokes on an aura of ritualism.
Okay.
Ooh.
Dig it.
Now let's bring it over to Isi Kai. What do you see in this clearing?
Well, I definitely see something that, had been added later on that wasn't here, but it is a small marble fountain with never-ending running water.
Interesting.
And part of it is starting to ice crystallize, but the water is still running.
Water is still running. I think we'll call this aspect the lion's warmth.
Nice.
I like that.
There is some power here that is, by its inherent nature, fighting against the coldness of the White Witch. So go ahead and roll unmodified against a difficulty of 0.
It's a 0.
All right. So that being a tie, you're not going to get any free invokes on this, but neither are your enemies. But that fountain is still there. It is still an aspect that can be drawn upon by either side as we move forward. And now, Sam Sparrowgold, what do you see?
The stone table is a place that I have come to visit many times. It is really a sacred place where Aslan once performed his great sacrifice. And every time you're here, in addition to that, the ritual that's going on, you can also feel the humming of the deep magic, because this is the place of the deep magic.
The place of the deep magic. That's a pretty good name for an aspect right there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So let's have you go ahead and roll for that one.
Oh, is there any way I can re-roll that?
You can spend a fate point. Reminder to everybody, your fate points recharge at the beginning of every session.
Yep.
What?
I'm gonna do that, because that's a -3.
That is very bad.
I don't want that.
Smart man.
The deep magic has to be on our side, guys.
Come on, deep magic.
The deep magic must be appeased.
That's a +2, which is quite a bit better.
There we go. That is a free invoke for you guys on the place of the deep magic.
Nice.
So you observe this strange ritual, this gathering of this, this Black Sabbath almost of all of these creatures gathering around this focal point of the stone table, and standing upon the stone table, splintered in half. Actually, I'm trying to remember, does the stone table heal itself after Aslan's return?
Ooh.
Yes.
Does it?
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yes.
Is it whole?
Yes.
Yes, we will say for our purposes at least that the stone table is whole.
Cool.
And we will go back and maybe confirm that later. Okay. So, yes, standing atop the stone table, the White Witch holds aloft her scepter, but she's still wearing those high heels and that red dress with her hair pulled up in a widow's veil and stuff.
Oh, man.
Dang, girl.
And as she holds up her scepter, the crowd quiets, and you hear whimpering as one figure comes stumbling up towards the stone table. And as he reaches it, you can see he is exhausted, panting with exertion, his once finely tailored suit frayed and covered in muck and grime, and yes, covered with frost as well. At this point, you see his ragged breath coming out in great gouts of steam in front of him as he approaches this cold altar, and he just stumbles onto it, and the thing that he's holding in his hand spills out, and you see coins and gems and jewels spilling across the surface as this man begins to catch his breath. And you hear the White Witch say, "And you have brought your final offering unto me, my servant." And you hear the voice of Joe Schmo say, "Yes, my mistress, I have brought you all of my gambling earnings. I have brought you all of my campaign winnings, the stuff I was going to use to support my next bid for the Senate. Can I please return home to my family?" And she looks down at the gems. She's sorting through them with her staff. She picks one up and holds it between her fingers, and as she squeezes, you can see steam erupting from between her fingers. Yeesh. And she looks down at this pile of ash left in her hand and says, "These will do, but you could have done so much better, my poor, poor servant." And he looks up at her and says, "Oh, but I've done the best I can, I promise." And she says, "Well, I'm sorry to say that your best was not quite enough." And with a flash, you hear him scream. There's a flash of light as she stabs him with her scepter. And you see his body, after the flash has receded, is now rigid, covered in frost, just like these other stone henchmen around him.
I'm starting to think that those two were never married at all.
I think you're right. The guy was a crook, but he gave me a tax break, so I don't think he deserved to die in that way.
And Isi, you see, sitting right on top of this pile of gems is a crisp $20 bill.
Oh, no.
Okay. I think, Sam, you should start doing whatever you do to, talk to Aslan. And while you do that, I'm gonna hit up the back way, okay? And he's gonna try to slink behind and, crawl somehow under the stone table near, where her feet are.
All right, so that's Isi's tactic. What do we got for Sam and Drew?
I would like to offer up myself as crowd control. Maybe see if I can't integrate, into the crowd. I've got a plan for taking out these henchmen.
Very nice. So we got stealth and stealth.
Yeah? That's me.
Yes. And Sam, what's your tact going to be?
We need some help here. And Sam is going to, at least for the time being, say a prayer to Aslan.
All right.
Because we need some help beyond ourselves right now.
Yes. So as you're all starting to get into position, moving into your various areas, Isi towards the table, Drew towards the throngs of the crowd, Sam holding back for a moment, you watch as the White Witch reaches down to this pile of gems, picks one up, holds it to the light, examines it, and says, "This will do." And she places it into the open, screaming mouth of Joe Schmo's statue in front of her. And as it enters into his mouth, you see a puff of frost escape from it. And she reaches out and takes his chin and slowly lifts it up. And you see, as this mouth closes, the frost on the body begins to ripple with energy. And you see Joe Schmo's body begin to twitch and move until finally he stands up, his weariness gone from him, and goes to join the ranks of the other henchmen at her side.
She's making ice people.
She's making an army.
That's illegal.
Yeah, Drew Tape, you did that one piece, that one article where you exposed the ice people making rain a couple years back.
Yeah. I wrote a 2-page article on why that's not good.
Yeah, and some legislation passed, and you know who voted against this legislation? Joe Schmo. Boo.
Oh, that guy. Well, what goes around comes around, you know?
Yeah, that's karma. So let's start getting some rolls as people are getting into position, and let's begin with Isi Kai, you sneaky, sneaky little fawn, you.
Let's hope. Well, I'm gonna use a fate point.
All right.
And I'm gonna invoke no book is ever like its cover.
Reveal.
And I'm going to take off the wig that I've been wearing and turn inside out the coat that I've been wearing. And I'm actually going to walk right up to her.
What?
Yes. What appearance has Isi Kai taken on?
So, Isi Kai, now that the wig is off and the jacket that Isi Kai's been wearing, and like you can see under it, the clothing beneath, it's now more female-ish, and you see her long hair. Isi Kai is a woman.
What?
But your manly demeanor.
I got a +2.
All right. So you begin walking straight up to the White Witch, and what tack are you taking?
So I'm going up to her and I'm saying, "Your servant is here. I have brought with me your enemy, and they are right over that ledge." And I'm going to point to the opposite side of where they are.
All right.
For a minute there, I thought she was a turncoat.
That was scary.
All right. I'm going to roll clever for the White Witch. That is a 3. Do bear in mind that we have some free invokes on these situational aspects as well.
I would like to invoke an aura of ritualism to say the smoke, like in the air, makes it a little difficult to discern, like one way or another, if she's telling the truth.
I like that. That will give us a +2 to Isi Kai's roll, bringing it up to a 4.
Woo!
The White Witch Jadis leans down towards you and holds out a cold hand in a mockery of a warm gesture. And she says, "I am grateful that you have returned and that you have been loyal to me. Your brother has been giving us so much trouble of late."
I would always return to you, my queen. He is so beneath you and nothing compared to your greatness. Whatever I could do to be in your service, I will. And unknown to the White Witch, you see very slight, her comrades could see her like eyes darting very slightly, and then like, "I hope this will work" type of thing.
All right. So yeah, you have set up your friends for success there. I'm going to say that's going to give us, I'm going to create a new aspect, and I'm going to give us a free invoke on that. And I'm going to call this aspect Wool Over the Eyes.
Nice.
Who's her brother?
Sam asks to himself because he has nobody around him and no idea.
All right. Now, Drew Tape,
Yes.
you have a distraction. How would you like to infiltrate the ranks of these henchmen?
I want to be as integrated as possible, just under my coat. That is my disguise. I've got my camera gear ready to go. I'm looking at the people around me, and I am logging insults for all of them. I am at any time ready to prove that the pen is mightier than the sword.
Ooh, the pen is mightier than the sword. I'm into that. Okay, sounds like you're possibly also kind of creating or bolstering an aspect here. Let's have you roll with, I think, clever to come up with these wonderful barbs of the tongue.
Okay. I'm gonna use a fate point to redo that. I got like a 2, but I feel like I can do better.
All right.
Okay, that is a 4.
Nice.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to create 2 free invokes on an aspect that I'm going to call Silvery Barbs.
Sweet.
Our Season 2 I Cast Fireball listeners might appreciate that. All right, so we have really set us up for success here, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
We've got 5 free invokes all ready to go. Now, Sam Sparrowgold, I'm going to take a cue from our good friend Blades in the Dark, and I'm going to set up a progress clock here
All right.
for your entreating of Aslan, the Great Lion.
I like it.
Let's go ahead and make that a 4 clock. And generally speaking, when you make one of these attempts, I think we're going to set it at a flat difficulty of 4.
Okay.
So, what is the first thing that you would like to do to entreat the aid of Aslan in this moment?
Oh boy. I will reverently place my hand on my detective's badge given to me by Aslan himself,
Oh, snap.
showing that I am Aslan's personal private eye, and let that fuel my entreatment of Aslan.
All right, I think that sounds careful to me. That's a very gentle way of kind of showing your dedication here.
I'll go with that.
You've got a +2 careful.
Wow. This doesn't happen too often. That's 4 negatives on the dice.
Oh, no.
Oh boy! Time to start using some of those free invokes,
Yep.
I reckon.
Yep. I'm going to invoke an aura of ritualism again. I am performing my own ritual here,
Nice.
which is a counter ritual to what they are doing.
Yes.
Nice.
Their stuff is a mockery. Mine is the real deal.
Heck yeah.
Yours is devotion.
That's right. I'm gonna re-roll that.
That's a good idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay, with careful, that's a flat 0.
Ooh.
Sometimes the dice decide.
We've still got free invokes, and you still have fate points. You can continue to pursue this or leave it there, your choice.
Man, we've set ourselves up for success so much. I hate burning through these already. Oh boy, I have 2 fate points of my own. I might invoke my trouble a little bit here, and I'll say that I did so badly because of the lack of stealth, so maybe I've been noticed.
Ooh, okay. I like this. A devil's bargain. I'll give you, yes, once again, taking a cue from our friend Blades in the Dark, I will give you a free invoke for that narrative complication.
Okay, I'll do that. So does that mean I get to use it now and re-roll again, or?
Yeah, you can reroll now if you want.
Okay, come on, dice. We got this.
Come on, dice.
Man, I love Blades in the Dark. I also love Fate Accelerated, but I love Blades in the Dark.
Ayo.
I think the dice have decided here that that's just a +1.
A +1 against a difficulty of 4.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So, yeah, you reach out to grab your badge, and as you're gripping it, it pops off of your chest and falls onto the hillside below you. You're like, oh, no. You reach out to grab it, and it slips out of your fingers and lands on a rock and starts a little bit of a rock slide going down the side of the hill towards this ritual here.
Oh boy.
And you see a couple of these stone henchmen on the edge closest to you turn and look in the direction of this kerfuffle. I'm going to give you a chance to roll a sneaky, your worst stat, to see if you can avoid being found immediately.
All right. Sneaky. Nope. -1.
-1. So yeah, you reach out and you grab your badge as it, like you're chasing after it. You're almost to the edge of the ritual circle now, and you grab it and you look up and you see a stone minotaur staring you right in the face.
Oh dear.
And it bellows, and I think let's get into a combat exchange
Oh
here.
man, that went poorly.
A little bit. I think I want to see what Drew Tape has up his sleeves right now.
All right. Yeah, it's go time. Okay. Wow! I throw off my coat. I just start taking photos of the people around me and making very specific insults to them. Like, you there, blue man, your face is asymmetrical, or your face is far from asymmetrical. You there, man with horns, they're 2 different sizes. That's just a different asymmetrical thing. Minotaur, your biceps are too big. Uncomfortably so. And I just start throwing these out, left and right.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack with Flashy.
Okay.
You know you can't just rely on creatine to get your muscles bulked up. You got to get some actual protein in there.
Come on. You're taking too many shortcuts. That is that is 3.
3. All right, I'm going to roll to defend with Clever for this mob you're attacking here. They rolled really bad.
Oh, thank goodness.
That is a flat 0.
Sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been sitting here in the middle of this crowd for a minute just putting these insults in my back pocket. I make sure to look for specific things because I know they'll hurt.
Yeah, you yell out at these people, and it's almost as if in this place where there's so much magic suffusing the air, it's as if your words themselves take on a blade-like form, slashing through these opponents in front of you. And we're going to deal 3 stress to the crowd of henchmen.
That's right.
There will come a poet.
Yes.
Ole, ole, oh Lord.
I love that song.
It's so good.
Now, Drew Tape, who would you like to go next?
Yeah, so I am just dishing out these insults left and right. I'm gonna take a breath, and while I do so, I like lock eyes over with the now female Isi Kai, because I'm not sure what they are going to do next. So I'm just waiting and watching. Isi Kai.
So Isi Kai, seeing this, that Drew is making a distraction and Sam has revealed himself, is going to pretend to stumble as she rushes at Sam and say, "There's the traitor, get him!" And while she's doing that, I want my foot to catch the staff on accident and hit it out of the witch's hand, hopefully going towards Drew or Sam-ish.
Nice.
Ooh, clever girl indeed. Roll to overcome with Clever.
Yes!
Huh?
5.
5.
Nice.
Okay, gonna roll Clever for the witch. 4.
Nice.
Take that, witch.
Yes, with a fawn, mirthful leap into the air, but a clumsy one, you kick it with your hoof, and it starts spinning through the air right in the direction of Sam Sparrowgold. Who would you like to go next?
My good buddy Sam.
All right. I see this scepter tumbling through the air towards me, and I would like to catch it in my hand and continue its momentum down and break it over my knee.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, sounds forceful to me.
Yeah.
That it does.
+3.
+3, all right.
That's what's up.
I'm going to roll for the rigidity of this staff because we know we have seen it broken. It was cleft in twain by a sword. All right, yeah, you take this staff, snap it over your burly knee, and you feel shards of ice shattering beneath your fingers. Ooh. And I'm going to give you the option, if you take maybe a couple stress from these shards of ice, we can tick off some ticks on your progress clock to gain Aslan's attention.
Nice.
I will take it.
All right, I'll say take 2 stress for every tick on the clock you would like to mark. And you can put some of these into consequences if you would like.
Man, and it's a 4 o'clock?
It's a 4 o'clock.
2 stress for every 1 tick.
And as a reminder for our listeners, you only have 6 normal stress, but you've also got a 2, 4, and 6 stress consequence each.
I'm gonna go pretty bold here. Give me a 4 stress and a 2 stress consequence.
All right.
And then I'm also taking 2 stress.
Okay. Well, that's 4 ticks on the 4 clock. So the first consequence that we're going to give you is obviously just your hands are burning. It is this strange sensation of like stinging, searing heat from the lacerations mixed with a numbing coldness. Just this conflicting of magic just burrowing away into your body. So your 2 stress consequence is going to be, ow, my hands.
Okay.
But the 4 stress consequence is you feel that coldness beginning to take over and beginning to creep up your wrists, up your forearms. You can feel yourself losing sensation in these extremities. You can feel your hands growing heavier, threatening to pull down to the earth as you are beginning to turn into stone.
Right.
And we're going to call this consequence early onset petrification.
Nuts.
All right.
So yeah, you smash this staff and you hear not only the screams of the people around you as they're just blown back by this explosion of magic energy, but through the own fog coming over your mind as you feel this change happening in your body, you hear a shriek coming from the stone table itself, and you look up to see Jadis has fallen to her knees and is clutching at her chest and also breathing heavily, having apparently taken some sort of damage at the ruining of her scepter here.
And I will just force out a whisper as I feel myself petrify and I feel the cold seeping into my bones, and I'll just whisper,
For Aslan.
Yes. And at this point, it's only the bad guys left this round. So we're going to pass it over to them. They begin starting to throng against you. But before they can get too close, you do hear far off in the distance a rumbling noise.
Yes.
That sounds almost song-like to you.
oh man.
Now, we're going to start with the henchmen. And who are they going to turn their attention on? I mean, it makes sense that they would go after Sam.
Yes.
But he's already taken a pretty big beating. So I think
Drew.
they're going to go
No,
for Drew,
do it.
Tapins.
Do it.
Do it?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
You know what? Okay. We're going to have the henchmen begin thronging you. They can feel the lion-like aura beginning to emanate from you. They can see even like as this dull numbness begins to encase and encroach upon your hands, they can begin to see almost a glow beginning to suffuse around your heavy, thick mane and horns. So they're going to try and take you out while they can, and they're just going to try and swarm you and throng you and overwhelm you with forceful. How would you like to defend?
I am also going to... I mean, there's not much I can do. I'm turning to stone here. I'm going to just hunker down and try to outlast.
All right. That does sound pretty forceful to me.
That's only a +1.
Ooh.
+1. They got a +5 over here.
Ooh.
Can I invoke silvery barbs to help?
Yeah, how would you aid in this instance?
Okay, so for those who turn from my insults to go and attack him, I am going to start insulting their backside. The literal back half of their bodies.
Yes.
Don't you run from me! You! Yes, you! With the weird fashion sense!
All right. Yeah, that will bring it up to a +3 for Sam Sparrowgold. So that would only be a 2 stress that you would be taking at this point.
I would also can I do an invoke as well?
Sure.
As I see this happening, I'm still nearish the stone table. I'm gonna look at him and look at the stone table and just ling my body on top of it and say, Aslan, I didn't believe before, but if you're there, please help him. He believes in you. And I am invoking the place of the deep magic.
Oh, very good. That is going to bring us to a tie.
Sick.
So, Sam, as you feel these creatures swarming over you, the coldness, the heaviness, the roughness of their granite and basalt beings trying to drag you down into the stone itself, you are bolstered by magic that you were not familiar with before this moment. Magic that you can feel suffusing out all throughout this clearing, beginning to combat the coldness. You see trees around you, the leaves cycling back and forth from brown to red to yellow to green and back again. Ooh. As these conflicting sources of creative energy, the song that created Narnia against the screams of pain, the deplorable words of the White Witch, beginning to take hold over this mountaintop. And you take no stress from that attack.
Nice.
Thank you, friends.
And that brings us to the White Witch, who turns to look at Isi Kai and says, I thought that someone would betray me. I did not know exactly who it would be, but it seems it is time for me to unleash my powers. In the time since I was banished from this world, I went back to Charn, the land which I was the queen over in the ancient times, and I have relearned the deplorable word which set that earth to flame and destroyed all who opposed me. Let's see if it works in this world as well.
Oh no.
And she points her fingers towards you and begins to shape her mouth into vowels that are alien to your ears. And she is going to roll to attack you with forceful, using the deplorable word. She's going to spend one of her fate points for the deplorable word to try and boost it up a little bit. Let's see how she does. That is a 5.
Oh,
all right.
This lady.
Oh, what do I defend with? Can I defend with anything?
Yes, how would you like to defend?
Oh my goodness. I feel like, obviously I want to defend with clever, but I feel like in this instant, she's caught off guard, so I think it'd be more careful to try to, like, roll across the stone table somehow to, like, get off it and get away from her.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, that is a +3.
Ooh, so that would be 2 stress incoming towards you.
I would like to help out and invoke wool over the eyes.
Nice.
If I may. She's been tricked by Isi Kai before and doesn't quite know what to expect. Isi Kai is a bit of a wild card to her, so that catches her off guard a little extra bit.
Yes, she thinks she knows exactly where you are, exactly where to point the full brunt of the deplorable word, but in the last moment, you are not where she thought you were, and you take 0 stress from this attack.
Nice.
That brings us to the end of the White Witch's turn, and it would be the end of the round, save for the fact that there is one character who still has yet to act in this round. You have heard the sound of the song rumbling through the mountains around you, growing louder and louder, and the light beginning to shine up from the east on the far side of the mountain from you. The light begins to intensify and to grow until at the pitch of this song, the very trees themselves singing in chorus, you hear a phenomenal roar erupt over the clearing. And you see hoarfrost shatter from every individual around you as they turn to see the face of Aslan, the great lion, proudly standing at the edge of this mountainside.
Yes.
So, that is Aslan's action, is showing up to the fight.
All right.
And I think he's going to pass it to his private detective, Sam Sparrowgold.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
With the arrival of Aslan, it's been so long, Sam wants to, just feels this confidence running through him and wants to try to break out of the stone and frost encrusting him.
All right, sounds forceful to me.
+3.
+3. All right, I will roll for the swarming horde.
That's right, I forgot about them.
They rolled bad. That is a flat 0.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you, seeing your boss, he's finally here. You've waited all this time to see your boss. You, with strength surging up inside of you, begin to push yourself out. You hear cracking and breaking noises all around you as you throw the hordes, the masses from you. And with the 3 stress you inflict on these hordes, you can see that radiating out from you as well is a warmth matching the warmth of Aslan, the Great Lion. And as these 2 auras meet in the middle, you see as they pass over all of these transfigured and mutilated beings that they begin to soften, to return to the state that they were in before they were overtaken by the White Witch. And you see them beginning to, cough and sputter, to look at their hands and realize that they have been returned to their previous forms. And you hear Joe Schmo yell, "Well, shoot dang, if that ain't something." And that does it for Sam Sparrowgold. Who would you like to go next?
I'm going to look over at my buddy Drew, who we haven't seen in a while.
Okay. Well, the henchmen are returning to sentient beings, so time to attack this tall white woman. I go up to her. I have not paused except for to take an occasional breath, and without taking pause, I shift my focus and words to this tall, wiry, evil woman. I just start calling her names. Just calling her names. Crazy cat lady, big, tall, stinky, Bigfoot, that kind of thing.
All right. Go ahead and roll to attack with Flashy. She's going to try and defend with Clever.
Vicious mockery.
Yeah, right.
Vicious mockery indeed.
All right. I got a 4.
A 4. She rolled terrible.
Yes!
She only got a +2 on that.
Take that, you insecure evil woman.
Yeah.
Feel the sting of my words.
Yeah, and once again, the magic suffusing this area, it's almost as if your words are not so much blades at this point as they are blossoms of light emanating from your mouth. And as they impact with her body, you can see that the areas where they hit begin to wither themselves, to go dark and ashen, and she stumbles back on the stone table. Who would you like to go next?
Isi, quick! Finish this old hag off!
Okay, Isi having rolled away and seeing Aslan come is honestly, I'm gonna say stunned and petrified. She didn't really believe that much in Aslan. I don't know, for story's sake, I can't remember. I'm a little rusty with fate, but is there a way, what's it called, to I'm going to say penalize me kind of thing? Because I feel like even with the action, she would be stunned and kind of can't really move or take an action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can compel your clumsy idiot trouble against you, which would give you a fate point, but it would either potentially cause you to fully forfeit your success or to take a penalty to your success, whichever you feel is more interesting in this moment.
I feel like it'd be more forfeit, that she would try to move towards the White Witch, but because she's so dumbed over this moment, maybe trip or stumble or not have the strength to continue it.
Yeah, you reach out towards the White Witch, but in your moment of stunned, almost petrification, you're reaching out your hand and you feel a sharp pain as her high heel lands on the back of your hand, crushing it into the stone of the table. And she looks down at you with flame in her usually cold eyes. Who would you like to go next?
I mean, I want to say Aslan, but I feel like the White Witch is already going.
All right. The White Witch stares down at you, and with your hand pinned underneath her foot, she once again begins to speak the deplorable word, which has ended entire races on entire worlds.
Yeesh.
Going to roll with forceful. That's really bad. She's going to spend a fate point to re-roll that. That's also really bad. She's going to spend her last fate point to re-roll that.
Yeah.
Do it.
Take that, witch.
Okay, that's a +5.
Oh boy.
There it is. Yeah.
So, how would you like to defend against the deplorable word?
Okay, for story purpose, for my question, do I have any idea if this word is just gonna affect me or affect the entire civilization?
She is pointing it directly at you right now.
Can I not defend then? because I think Isi, seeing her comrades there, would rather the success of them than herself. So I would rather direct all her wrath at me, if it's at me.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. With great sacrifice comes great consequences and blessings. Drew and Sam, as you watch Isi's hand go limp beneath the White Witch's foot and her body roll down off the stone table onto the ground, you are filled with a moment of despair. But then the White Witch, as she turns to gloat to you, turns into the face of a lion, his teeth bared wide. And for the sacrifice of one, I shall grant the success of another. And as the song that created this world once again suffuses throughout this valley, we're going to cut forward to the next day. Drew Tape, what does the headline say?
Extra. God is back, and the mayor's wife is evil and dead. And the mayor's back. It's a big headline.
Yes. And Isi, you are sitting in the infirmary wing right next to Lucky Glum in the bunk next to you reading this headline. And Mr. Beaver is no relation. Mr. Beaver is standing above you saying,
It's a very common name.
"Now, I can't say I've ever seen anything like this before. You was dead as a doornail, but somehow you don't come back."
I am as shocked as anybody, but tell me, Beaver, with no relation to the other Beaver, have they gotten news on my brother?
"Well, he's out in Telmar somewhere from what they say."
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beaver.
I'm sorry, Isi Kai, have you been a girl this entire time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't do dames, but I'm gonna think of you as a fella for now, so I don't have to figure out what to do with that.
From what I've heard, your brother Shonen, he's still a criminal running from the law, but he's out there.
Thank heavens. Thank you, and Drew, I thank you for visiting me in the infirmary, and this is a beautiful article. It is fine if I am a fellow from here on out.
Of course, bro. And thank you for your nice words about my article. I worked really hard on it.
Has Sam come down from Cloud 9 getting that promotion?
Oh, you mean Captain Sam?
Yes, we may never hear the end of it.
Yeah, he's pretty happy about it.
Where is he?
I don't know. I go to the hall. Sam!
I've been showing off my shiny new captain's badge to anyone and everyone who will look at it for the 87th time.
Look at that right there. Aslan himself gave me this promotion and gave me this badge. Captain Sam Sparrowgold.
He earned it. That's Sam. He earned it. He cares a lot more about the Aslan stuff than I did. I did. Like you, I was with you. I wasn't even sure if he was real, but he earned it, that promotion.
You did. I think we won because of you, Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, and because of your crazy sacrifice. Look, Isi, don't let yourself die like that again. We're a team, we're a team. Good cop, bad cop, and third cop.
Isi, do not downplay your role in the events that happened here.
Yeah.
And I will reach into my pocket and bring out another smaller, not quite as fancy badge.
But say, Aslan also gave me this to give to you once you woke up.
That's great.
And I will hand her, I don't know my ranks well enough, guys.
A junior sheriff badge.
Junior sheriff badge. It's like those honorary little pilot wings they give children on the airplanes.
Or like a junior ranger at a national park.
Yeah. It's one of those,
But it's very shiny. He made it just for you, I'm sure.
What was this actually from Aslan? You didn't make it.
I mean, I know he gave you back your life, and that's the main thing that he gave you. That was a gift, but I feel like you deserved something shiny.
Yeah.
I might have made it.
No, material possessions are also important, so I think this is a good message.
Sam, this is a lovely gift. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
She fastens it to her shirt, says, I will be your junior Sharon any day, as long as my fellow buddy Drew over there will be the best darn writer that can sling up anybody insults every day.
Oh, you just try and stop this pen.
He will slay you with his tongue.
And you hear a knock on the infirmary door, and
Step back!
Yeah, right.
Mr. Badger steps in, and he says, not to break up a tender moment here, but I was looking around in the boss's office, and, when I was looking at the desk, there wasn't anything on top of it, and then suddenly I turned back, and there was this. And he holds out a slip of paper towards you, Isi, and says, it's a pardon for your brother, if you can find him.
Who wants to go on an adventure?
Oh, I smell a scoop, and I can't say no to a scoop. Dude.
Sam?
I'm with you all the way.
Yes! The boys are back in town.
And the lady. She's a lady.
Pedantic.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And as Tom Jones provides the ending credits song for us,
Slow crawl.
I think that is where we're going to conclude our story in the world of Noirnia.
Directed by David Lynch.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Man.
I know you are trying to bench me again, Ned, but I feel like that was an invitation for me to stay on. I'm just saying.
I feel like it was, in fact. Man, I already have this inkling in my bones that Noirnia is something I might like to return to for one of our patron-exclusive campaigns.
It's really fun. I was not expecting it to blend so well.
Right?
But it did.
I mean, huge props and huge thanks to our patrons for creating this wonderful, beautiful thing for us.
Yes.
For real.
Yes, thank you.
The aspects were so good.
Well, shoot, I'm feeling very touched. And with that, everybody, thanks for listening to Improv Tabletop. And we'll be back next month with more adventures in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah!
Yes, Connor will be joining us along with JP and Thomas Ryan for our Republic City-themed Avatar campaign. We're very excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
And in the meantime, though, if you want more, go ahead and subscribe. Maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as a fawn who was dead but is now no longer dead if you would go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media at Improv Tabletop, so if you'd like to connect with us there, maybe you would like to talk with Heather about maybe some of her thoughts about who is this brother that they have this mysterious past with, don't be afraid to reach out. Now it's time to shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons.
Ow, ow!
And this time around, we're shouting out Tyson Lanzin, Adrian Garneau, and Christine Lines.
Yeah.
These are the people who were there to personally attend to Aslan during the time he was back here in the world of Narnia before he had to go off and continue his work on other planes. What an honor to be there with the very creator of this world upon which you are residing.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Pretty cool. And you also all get promotions. Good job.
Yeah!
We will have more Sticker Club patrons to shout out next week. And if you, dear listener, want to join their ranks, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get things like Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more, such as our current ongoing patron-exclusive campaign, Miceborn, the Mouse Ritter Chronicles.
Yeah.
We've got some more guest players that we're hoping to bring in as things progress in that campaign. And I'm loving how it's been going and very excited to see where it continues to go.
Lots of cheese props.
Lots of cheese props, lots of cheese puns as well.
Yes.
Some of them better than others.
They're always Gouda.
Oh, you know what, Caleb, you can have a fate point for that one.
Yes.
Now, let's do a round of plugs. Heather, would you like to take that this time around?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, please go over and see our pirate gang in I Cast Fireball Season 2.
Yeah.
Always exciting over there.
Yeah.
And I would just like to give a plug to summer reading programs.
Yes.
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 And whether or not you're too old to participate in them, summer reading is awesome. And doing this has brought back my love for reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're looking for a nice, tight read, go check out the Chronicles of Narnia, because that audiobook was 4 hours long.
Yes.
And that was a very big breath of fresh air for me.
Short and very sweet.
Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining us here in the world of Noirnia. It's been very fun. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by...
Captain Caleb Anderton.
Connor Wood, failed sumo wrestler.
Heather, not always a male.
Yeah.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
Yeah, it's go time. Okay. Wow! I throw off my coat. That's what it's called. Throw off my coat. I just start taking photos of the people around me.